crucible beckons, Guardian. Will you answer?
Really, Shax? You're gonna give me a 6.99 hand cannon? What the heck, dude? Oh man, incredible. Hope quest step.
Oh, good for you!
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to focus on a guide on how to reach Fabled 1 in the competitive playlist. And of course, I'm talking about reaching a score of 2100 in order to get some of the best weapons in the game, namely the Luna's Howl hand cannon, as well as the Recluse submachine gun. Both of these weapons are pinnacle rewards that you can only get from the competitive playlist, and they are among the best weapons in the game. So, the rewards are very much worth it, albeit this can be pretty frustrating because reaching 2100 is a challenging thing to do. The focus on this video is going to be for players who are either A, new to the comp playlist, or people who are focusing on getting this done in a solo queue. Now, I would recommend right away though that you are best off doing this with a team, but it can be done solo. You just have to make sure you are being patient because this can be a pretty long marathon to get this thing done. So let's jump right into it. Let's focus on how you can best reach 2100 and get some of these best weapons. So like I was saying, the focus on this guide is going to be for either solo players or for people who are new to the competitive playlist. Now, full transparency though, for myself, I did get to about 1300 by solo queuing myself, and then for that final push from 1300 to 2100, I did have a team. Now, this was our first time playing comp together, so we did have some kinks we had to work out, and we had to learn each other's cadences and things of that nature, but it was really fun to play with these guys. They were great players. It was also great, too, I think, to kind of cheer each other on as we were going to 2100, because these guys were working towards Recluse or Luna as well. So it can be really fun to have a team and help cheer each other on.
One opponent
Oh, he's right behind you. There you go. Yo, Schizo!
I love it!
My man wants his Recluse. Without a doubt, one of the most important things to consider when going into comp is making sure that you have synergy between both your weapons and armor, the perks you're using for your subclass, as well as the overall super itself. And that can be a very dynamic thing depending on both the map as well as the game mode. But for the most part, there are some things you want to keep in mind as you go into any game mode for comp. It's really good to have a maximum mobility, and right now mine is 9 for my Titan. Obviously 10 is the highest you can get, and you want to make sure that you're getting as close to that as you can because your movement speed and your jump height are going to be extremely important to make sure that you have as much of an advantage as you can over your opponent. Aside from your mobility, it's also good too, I think, to make sure that you're maximizing your super. So whether it be having super mods, those are really important. Obviously capturing control points and things like that, getting kills, those are going to be really important, as well as some perks that are on the armor itself, where it's increased super energy from heavy weapon kills. All those things can make a difference between getting your super once versus getting it twice in any given match. So make sure you have as much of a mobility as you can, and make sure you're getting your super as often as you can by using those mods. On top of that too, I think you want to make sure that your armor has perks that are going to complement the weapons that you're using. So right now, for instance, I have Fusion Rifle Scavenger, and that's going to help out using Jotun Fusion Rifle, using any Fusion Rifle. I also have the unflinching kinetic aim, and that's going to make sure that my hand cannon here has less flinch when I'm getting shot at. So make sure that you're using as much of the synergy as you can between your weapons and your armor, your perks on your armor, and your mobility as well as your super. All of these things are going to be extremely important to giving you as much of an advantage as you can over the other team. Alright, so now for the controversial portion of this video, and that has to do with the weapons that you're using. And I, for one, say use whatever weapons you like. If that means using Jotun or Telesto and getting hate messages from the other players, so be it. All that matters is getting to 2100, and you want to make sure that you're doing the absolute best you can, and part of that is the weapons that you're using. So dust off the Telesto, bring that back into comp, Use Jotun if you have it. If you don't have this, I'll link a video in the description on how to get it. Use these weapons. Use the best hand cannon. Use Service Revolver with rapid hit and kill clip if you want. Use a Chattering Bone with Outlaw Rampage. Bring out the Bygones with Outlaw Rampage. If you like using shotguns, you can bring out the Mindbender's Ambition. You can also use Retold Tail. I got smacked by that quite a few times. But honestly, use the absolute best weapons that you have in your arsenal, even if it means getting controversial messages from the other players. Like I said, all that matters is getting wins and getting to 2100 so that you can get these awesome weapons. I'd also say too that you want to make sure that you're using the best combination of super and armor that you can. So for me, that means of course using One-Eyed Mask. I always was using that throughout this comp playlist, and I don't have any regrets in using it. It's still an awesome exotic to use even after the changes that they've made to it. Likewise, if you're using your Hunter, use the Guizin Vest and the Spectral Blades. It's still amazingly good, and quite frankly, it doesn't matter if it's better than any other super because you want to give yourself an advantage. You want to make sure that you're doing the absolute best you can to get these wins, because every time you lose a game, it's going to set you back. So use whatever weapons you want, use the absolute best things that this game offers to you, and have no regrets, because once you get these, it'll all be worth it. Okay, so we're close to the end of this video, and we've gone over a number of different things that both non-comp as well as solo players can do to maximize your chances of hitting 2100 and reaching Fabled to get Luna's Howl and the Recluse submachine gun. I've gone over things like having synergy between the perks on your armor and the weapons that you're using at any given time, as well as having an exotic armor piece that complements your subclass or gives you an advantage in the Crucible game modes. I've gone over how comp is much different than quick play from the game modes that are available, and how you might want to tweak your playstyle based on any given game and also the map that you're playing on. We've went over how you want to make sure you're using whatever weapon that you are best and most comfortable with, even if those weapons are deemed overpowered in the minds of people on the Reddit forums. And hey, it doesn't matter. If you draw the ire of those folks, that means you're winning matches, and all that matters is getting these two weapons. But beyond those strategies, there are some things you can do that will maximize your gains each and every week. So the nice thing is, if you do play 3 games and you do not quit those games early, then when reset happens on Tuesday, you will get some bonus points towards your overall score, and that will help you out quite a bit on your push to 2100. Right now, it's roughly 100 points or so each week if you don't leave a match early. Now, the downside to that is if you do get disconnected by accident, they will treat that as you left the game early, so part of it is some luck and not having these servers break down on you. But make sure that you're taking advantage of that. Even if you're getting smacked around and you're going to lose a game, don't leave early, because you want to get those free points during reset. I also think just the overall mindset of knowing that, hey, it's very unlikely you're going to make that push from 0 to 2100 in a day. This is going to be something that takes you a few days, a few weeks, and you have to have that mindset of, hey, this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. Don't get discouraged when you lose a couple games in a row, because right around the corner you're going to have that 4 or 5 win streak, and you're going to get a bunch of points and get really close to 2100. As you get closer, make sure that you're being much more cognizant of understanding the game that you're playing. Don't be super aggressive. Don't worry if you hit 2000, you lose a game or two. Don't get discouraged. Maybe take a break. I think that's always an important thing to do. Take a break, retool, and that will give you the right frame of mind to continue pushing forward. But if and when you do, when you hit 2100, you will be rewarded with 2 of the best weapons in the game. The Recluse submachine gun, incredible in PvP, equally awesome in PvE. This Master at Arms perk is an awesome thing to have, and you can activate it when you get any kills. Everybody knows how good Luna is. This is the pinnacle weapon. This is the weapon that people have been using in Crucible for quite some time, and it is very much an amazing weapon to use because of that Magnificent Howl perk on this weapon, guys. So best of luck on your trek to Fabled. I know you guys can do it. Keep working hard. I know you guys have it in you to get these weapons, and you deserve to get them. Just make sure you're playing conservatively, make sure you're being patient, and make sure you're being smart. And part of that is using the absolute best things at your disposal. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Most importantly, though, thanks for watching, and we will catch up soon. Good luck.